My dog's just had like a sloppy shit outside. I was just wondering if you got some water. I don't want to leave it outside.
It's no use, boy. They've all gone to the top 5.
You sure? I feel terrible. Just had a proper sloppy shit and
Look, boy. There, in the courtyard.
What happened there, lads? Fucking hell.
Dana White privilege.
I don't know. If he saw me in person, he'd probably lick me ass, wouldn't he?
All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the winner by unanimous decision, Paddy!
I'm naming the winner, Paddy the Batty. Paddy, that was a close one.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't close.
Huh?
Paddy Pimblett is no stranger to controversy, having won a controversial decision to Jared Gordon, December 10th, 2022, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Paddy, since the beginning, has been very polarizing. Being quite a loud, off-putting, vulgar scouser who's good at getting attention. This isn't enough to get the hate that Paddy gets though, as in addition to being very confident, Paddy tends to fight in quite a reckless and uninspiring fashion. That's not to say he isn't an elite fighter, but more so to say that it was difficult to pick his fights with confidence. His BJJ kickboxing style has been seen before, but struggled to reach the top of the division. And being known as a fighter with a good chin since fighting Luigi Vengermani in your debut is in many ways a backhanded compliment. Paddy is a staple of his environment and has made his way into a title fight through a mixture of controversy with other fighters, his home country, specifically Liverpool, and circumstance that, while not the most deserving in terms of what he did in the cage, is at the very least a wild dark horse that was let out of his stable. One year later, same place, same arena, different test. Tony Ferguson, the ghost of lightweight pass and the modern-day BJ Penn. Coming into this fight, Tony Ferguson was on a 6-fight losing streak, with the only change this time being the introduction of a Mr. David Goggins, who wanted to bring back the old Tony, the one we all know and love.
Hold on, I'm talking, brother. Shut up before I ankle pick you.
Unfortunately though, Tony, for as much success as he was having early on, landing solid leg kicks, boxing, even defending Paddy's takedowns, he would eventually get rocked 3 minutes into the fight and almost finished, leading to a barrage of ground and pound where Paddy would end the first round at. So far, the boats have not left the dock. And coming into the second round, Paddy would take down Tony, and after defending solid offense from Tony's back, specifically elbows, some submission attempts, Paddy would control him for the rest of the round, where coming into the third, he'd be up 2. Paddy, unfortunately, though, looked gassed, getting pinged early by Tony, eventually even pulling guard in a desperate attempt to take the fight to the ground. And whether it be through sheer will or Tony being more rancher than Ian Gary's wife, he would eventually take him down, leading to a comfortable, yet in many people's eyes disappointing win for the baddie. Even with this win where Paddy won every round, it was clear that Paddy had a timer on his head, where after each fight the goalpost would move, going from a fun fighter who would never be ranked.
This kid has something, man. If he has fighting ability to match, he will be something to deal with.
And Michael
to a privileged industry plant who couldn't beat Jared Gordon or finish Tony Ferguson.
Thank you, sir. For everyone that tried to fat shame me and say I'd missed weight or what was it? Pull out.
Someone who gets by and is lucky to be big and strong for the division.
I have to say, sorry, I'm so fat.
No, you're good.
Paddy, while getting boosted by the company for his market value and asset to the company, while ruthlessly being ridiculed by the fan base for his favor by said UFC, was in sink or swim, needing an impressive win to get any credit from the hardcore fan base. And where better to do that than in his home country against a veteran of the game. Seven months later in Manchester, England, Paddy Pimblett would face Bobby Green, who is far from a contender, but is a gatekeeper to the rankings and someone that will kick the cans to the curb, but be devil's anyone with some level of talent. With that being said, many people still did pick Bobby to beat Paddy.
I'm taking Bobby Green, obviously.
Or Bobby Green. Bobby Green.
I'm gonna go with Bobby Green on that one.
Ooh, I think Bobby Green.
As unlike Paddy, Bobby submitted Tony and had competitive fights with high-level fighters such as Rafael Fiziev and Drew Dober, and even KO'd Grant Dawson, who was a very talented fighter in his own right. This was a very easy matchup to overlook, with Paddy still having not found his footing, and getting beat by Jared Gordon, who was a similar level or even lower level than Green. This had a chance of an upset. Paddy Pimblett at this point may had too much star power. Something that will take him to waters in which he simply cannot swim. Stuck in his own backyard, England, Manchester, against a staple of the division. Right now, Paddy Pimblett needed a statement. People in Liverpool really do love Paddy. If you see any interactions with them, it's clear they've never watched Family Guy, as they're flabbergasted anytime they see the baddie.
You're Paddy the baddie? Yeah. Paddy, come here, man. Please, 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 please.
Taking all of this into account, this is enough pressure to create diamonds. And if Paddy wanted to have any respect in this division, he needed to do more than barely winning a decision. He needed to finish Bobby Green in impressive fashion. At range, Pimblett would do a good job of maintaining space with kicks and using his larger frame to win at distance, forcing Bobby, the counterpuncher, to close the distance with one of the most dangerous BJJ artists in the sport, leading to exchanges where Bobby would fall short and get frustrated. Halfway through the round, Paddy would land a leg kick that Bobby would try to catch, leading to him falling off balance and lose his posture, allowing for Paddy to jump onto a ghillie that he would transition into a triangle, then an armbar that would put out Bobby. First round domination. This is what Paddy needed to separate himself from the rest and emerge as a real contender.
What up?
And a ranked fighter. It's very easy to look at Paddy as simply a brash, cocky, overrated fighter. But for Paddy and the other kids from the Liverpool, fighting was an escape and a second home, specifically the Next Generation Gym in Liverpool. Paddy Pimblett's coach, Paul Reimer, said this in a BBC interview. Next Generation in Liverpool has been putting the stuff in place that we never had here, he says. There is no MMA, fighting heroes, or gyms to look up to. This is an alternative to offices and football to make opportunities for kids in this city.
What's your name?
Paddy Pimblett.
Okay, do you have a fight nickname?
My coach calls me Paddy the Paddy Pimblett.
Paddy the Paddy. What's your MMA record?
3-0.
3-0.
This is where Paddy has been training for 16 years, starting at 15 years of age, where after a grappling tournament in 15 months, he began fighting, taking fights on a week notice against a 24-year-old. He would then go 9-0 across 4 years, where he would have his first pro fight against Nathan Thompson in Olympian Fighting Championships.
How old are you, Paddy?
16.
And how tall?
5'9".
And where do you hail from?
Next Gen.
Next Gen is your team. Where do you live? Liverpool?
Fun fact, Darren Till would make his debut the same night as Paddy. And after 3 fights, Paddy would be signed to Cage Warriors. And after becoming champion, he would then lose his belt. Paddy was devastated. Being someone who is self-admittedly overconfident, having lost in front of his home crowd, He'd be stuck in bed waiting for his missus to leave to begin crying.
After I lost the back, especially after the first round, I was that embarrassed I didn't want to leave my house. I lost my world title. I'd wake up in the morning, my missus would leave to go to work. I'd just sit there and cry for an hour. That was the only time I ever thought my career's over, I'm never fighting in the UFC, and I should have accepted the offer. I had to proper turn my life around.
Paddy is someone who only learns in the fire. At the top against the best, and needs lessons to be bashed into his big fucking head. And if he truly wanted to be the best and beat the best, he would need to take these experiences to fuel his eventual run to the title. Now, 8 years later, with an unbeaten run in the UFC, spanning 6 fights, winning each and every one of them, and coming off an incredible win over Bobby Green in his home country, in the city of Liverpool, on his back. He would take that to Miami against a true top contender and title challenger, Iron Michael Chandler, the former Bellator champion and one of the most devastating strikers in the division, with unreal athleticism and one-shot KO power. Chandler is someone who offers a unique style for Paddy, with high-level wrestling and BJJ defense, with a shot selection that can capitalize on Paddy's weakness, striking defense. Chandler was someone who, even while on a losing streak, was regarded as someone who, if they fought more intelligently, should beat most of his opponents, such as Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, and Charles Oliveira. Someone like Paddy, a wild, risky, and reckless fighter, should run headfirst into a bullet train that is Muscle Mike, right? Round 1, Paddy would use leg kicks against the heavy-set Chandler. Chandler then would press Paddy against the fence, where they would begin to trade along the side of the octagon, leading to Chandler taking down Paddy Pimblett. Not much would happen on the ground, where eventually Paddy would stand up and then immediately jump a standing triangle, lose it, stand back up, get at range, and then begin to trade with Mike with long punches and kicks. He would then start to light him up. Paddy had clearly improved and sharpened his striking with far better combinations and even flying knees to top it all off. Coming into round 2, Paddy would continue peppering Mike with some concerning defense along the way, where the only successful damage Chandler would inflict on Paddy was a nasty nut shot and big body lock slams that only amounted to getting reversed by Paddy and receiving a barrage of elbows. Paddy dominated positionally on the ground against Chandler, going from submission attempts to ground and pound. Round 3, Paddy would bust up Chandler with a knee and brutalize him on the ground, looking like a prime John Jones, making Chandler ask the ref for help. This was the most dominating win over Chandler, where unlike other opponents of Mike, he didn't get rocked or almost finished and just destroyed him for 3 rounds. Paddy may be a hype train with some special favor from the company, but at the end of the day, the UFC can only bring you to the Shark Tank sooner than others. And against one of the big dogs of the division, Paddy put him on a fucking leash. You can hate the baddie for getting chances others won't and winning decisions he shouldn't, but he came to this fight and scrapped with one of the best in the division and beat him up. And this weekend, he will do that again, but for the interim belt against Justin Gaethje's bong rips and low uppercuts. And willingness to scrap against Justin's sharp boxing and big kicks, and absolute disdain of the ground and BJJ specifically. It's a very even matchup, where the winner will have to face another level entirely with Ilya, the champ, Arman Tsarukyan, the #1 contender, or the future BMF champ, Charles Oliveira or Max Holloway. Paddy Pimblett, now in sight of the peak of the mountain, will have to take the biggest steps to be the best and prove he's at more front than Blackpool.
I want to inspire kids from this city to show that they can be whatever they want to be. Now I've got the best people around me, the best family, the best mates, the best gym mates, the best fiance, and because of that, I'm going to the top.